a catering butchers supplying hotels, schools, nursing homes across the southeastern London. We're a member of the National Association of Catering Butchers. We have been for 15 years now. Within that, obviously, we run to FSIS higher level now.
We have lots of different types of customers, but mainly we do a lot of schools and nursing homes. We also have some hotels, pubs and restaurants as well. We've had Season running for about 5.5 years now. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It's got everything we need.
Go to the in screen, find the product. I enter the invoice number from the supplier. You've got your batch code. We enter the use by dates, enter the temperature. When that's all correct, so I press print and I get labels for the product. All that information I've put on there. The original batch code, which obviously one would be stuck on there alongside the original one.
I'm going to be doing a job on a loin of pork, which we will bone and roll to put into stock. This is the loin of pork which is on the bone. It's got its batch number already on it. Seasons Factory allows me to choose any item of the meat that we're going to process. I'm going to bone and roll it, so I'll put it into the job now by scanning the label. So I can take one loin of pork, which as it says weighs 8 kilos 62, which I will enter into that job. We can have minced pork, diced pork, pork tenderloin, pork loin ribs, and obviously the loin of pork. So what I've done is I've bone and rolled it, tied it up. We go into the job, we go into the out section of the job, which is everything that's come from that bone-in loin of pork, and we find that product, which is a boneless, short loin of pork. It's then transferred to the label. So for traceability, that job number, right, will go right the way back to the back door, which means I can tell you where it came from. It's almost how much grass it's eaten.
Good afternoon, CMB Foods. Oh, hello there, Carol. How are you? Taking orders over the phone is fantastic. I think Season has made us a lot faster. It allows us to see what the customer has had on a regular basis using the history, which we find to be fantastic.
You can see what they've had over the course of their last 30 or 40 orders.
And it means that there's no more pieces of paper flying around the office and orders don't get forgotten, which is great.
From there we can put the order that they'd like straight on the system. As soon as it's put on the system, it's sent downstairs to the touchscreens.
I'm going to select a customer's orders to be cut. What they've asked for is hand-diced lean beef steak. We scan that barcode, and there we are. It's entered that into that customer's order. Printed me off a label. Again, everything is transferred onto there. It's come from a job number, so that job number is for our traceability. We put the customer's label onto it, and it prints me out a bag label with a barcode. This one's got the name of the customer, but it's got no item on it except a bag or a box.
So we've got 7 routes. They're automatically set up per customer as to which route it goes on, and it even puts it in order. So the driver, all he has to do is take out 2 copies of the invoices and bring back one signed.
Specifications are very complicated on some of the customers, and we find it works really, really well. Some of the hotels want products packed in a certain way. They don't want things vacuum packed, they want them put on trays, so it's a really good way of communicating with our butchers.
Been here for 1.5 years now, I've trained staff, and within a week they've picked the whole system up.
Training staff is very easy. Yes, I mean it's not a problem. You know, big words, big buttons, never a problem.
We've had workers from abroad, and again, they've picked the system up within a week. The system really operates and it knows what you're doing all the way through. It does tell you if you can make a mistake on something.
If they forget to put an extra bag, and then it's issued only with 2 bags instead of 3, the driver then says, should be 3 bags, where's the other one? So then it comes back to me to sort that problem out.
You can't send the order out until it's complete.
The Season has helped us to stay nice and tight, temperature controlled, all the records are met and saved, so we know exactly where this piece of meat has been, where it's going, when it went there, at what temperature, and this is what Season helps us to do.
They want total traceability. I mean, it's an item that we're very proud of. I mean, we can tell you the farm it came from, the person that sold it to me, the day it came in, the day it came round here to be a job to be processed on it. Yeah, it's a good system, a very good system.
We've got all of the traceability now on the system relating to every single product, so there's no need to have any paper at all apart from the invoices.
Season's helped us a lot. It's a process now where it's done on computer, whereas before we had to use a pen, very old-fashioned. Now this is much, much quicker.
Our efficiency with Season is definitely a lot better. It takes obviously time to get used to the system, but it's set out so simply, and the boys love it as well. They're obviously wary to begin with, but after a week or so they think it's been brilliant. Having the scales linked to the screen is fantastic because whatever is on that scale is on the screen, so you don't have to type anything in, which is brilliant because 1 decimal point difference and you're charging someone far too much or far too little. We've invested a lot in the hardware needed to run Season. The good thing is that we can do it gradually.
Since we've had Season, it has changed our business completely. We are far more efficient. We look after our customers a lot better just through basic things of understanding what they need and having it stored, so you haven't got to remember everything all the time. We've definitely noticed an increase in our turnover. It's allowed us to gain new sales because we're not concentrating on looking after customers. The system almost does that for us in a way, and there's definitely been an increase in profits because of that as well, so it's been fantastic. Since we've had Season, it allows us to get on with what we do best, and that's selling meat and looking after customers really well.